So, we thought it was time to write some original music. And with that, we decided to change the name, to something that, we all thought was, pretty cool. And then, I guess, here we are. So, we released the album last year and then just been out kind of promoting that for about the last, year or so. And, moving on is trying to be, more authentic artist instead of being, say your bar band, cover band, which we still do a lot of. I mean, our main thing is we love to entertain people and, make sure that everybody has a good time at our shows, which if you ever see a Kickstand Jenny show, that's our number one priority. So, that's kind of where we're at. That's kind of where it started. And then, hopefully now we're, looking forward, just, trying to, as we go along, try still writing original music and hopefully, working on a second album. And, would like to do something this year, but if not this year, hopefully put something out next year.
And speaking of putting on a good show, I mean, I imagine, you guys are out of Florida, correct?
Correct.
Yep. And so I imagine, just about anywhere you play is like the ultimate stage because it's really nothing but, beaches and babes. And so I'm assuming that pretty much everywhere you play is like the ultimate stage, and I'm sure you have your fair share of bikini tops being flung at you.
Well, yeah, we get a few. Some we like, some we don't like so much. But it's kind of a different scene here. With a lot of people coming down. Summertime is extremely busy. This time of year is extremely busy. But in terms of rock bands being in this area, there's few of us here. There's a lot of reggae bands, a lot of jam bands, which give a lot of props to those guys. But in terms of good 80s, 90s rock, kind of in your face rock, in this area, we're kind of the go-to guys. And, that's good for us because, people love that type of music. And, but yeah, we get some really good venues down here. We're playing at a resort now, a place called, Baytown Wharf called Hammerheads, which, has, it's just a tourist heaven. So when we play there, it's just nothing but a fun scene.
When people are here on vacation,
they're
it's different. If you're playing at a local bar, you've got drunks. You're playing at a vacation spot, you got party animals. People come down here to party, and it's a beautiful scene, man. So we're really blessed. We're really fortunate.
And it's classy. It's not your
not all the time.
Well, not all the time, but it is for the most part. It's classy. It really is, and we try to declass that once in a while. But for the most part, it is. It's classy. It's fun, and people appreciate that, man.
Well, it kind of sounds like you guys do have yourself established down there, which I hope this next question doesn't sound dumb, but I was kind of wondering, especially like during the tourist season, with so much going on, I was kind of wondering, did you find it hard to hook up gigs, or is it kind of easy peasy now because you kind of established? You said you guys are the go-to now for the 80s, 90s rocks, what have you, but
that's a good question.
Yeah, I think when we were kind of kicking it off about 3 years ago, I think every band has to pay their dues. And, we definitely paid ours at the beginning. Fortunately, it's a pretty tight-knit community down here. So, if you're a decent band that has a decent sound and people, the word gets around. So
quickly, yeah. And
what happens, then you're propelled into playing, really good places. So, we had to pay, we paid our dues, definitely, playing in places, and playing a bar stool some night, I think that, if you're good, you're eventually going to get heard. And then, then once that word gets around, then, the better venues pop up. And now, we're at a good place to where,
we get to pick and choose.
We pick and choose, which is, is a good place to be. So, we're very fortunate for that.
Man, no kidding. Wow. Yeah, it actually, it sounds like you guys are definitely established down there. Now I understand, a lot of, I can guarantee you probably 99.9% of the indie artists we play here, when they're out somewhere playing, everybody throws in cover songs because, a lot of people, when they're hanging out and they're partying and drinking, they always resort back to what they remember or grew up with or whatever the case may be. But do you find, and especially where you guys are, where, as you said earlier, there's kind of two different crowds. You got the locals and the tourists, and you get a lot of tourists down there. Do you find when you're playing your originals, I mean, what kind of feedback you getting?
They buy CDs.
yeah, exactly. Well, I think, with what we do around here, we kind of play to our venue. So if we're playing at I don't want to say redneck bar, depending on where you're playing, you're going to play a dance place where people dance. If there's a dance floor, we're going to play dancey type songs. Right. We play at a place where people require the rock and roll stuff, and we try to adapt to our environment. Now we're playing in April at a place called Club LA, where we'll be able to play all originals, and that's a really cool thing for us. And so I guess it all depends on where we play. But if we're playing at a place where it's like a local club or whatever, we'll sneak in an original every now and then. But usually the CD sales go up, and lately we've seen a lot of people singing along to our songs, which is extra cool, man.
Super cool, yeah.
Wow. And, yeah, I can't imagine that feeling. I mean, because that tells you something. I mean, your originals are getting out there. People are hearing them. They're remembering them. And you said at this next venue that you're going to play in April. That's not your next one, I'm sorry. But when you play that in April, it's going to be all originals, and that kind of was leading into my next question, actually, is are you at a place now where you have places contacting you and being like, listen, man, we want you here, we want you to play your originals, forget the covers, or is it kind of just a thing, hey, just come here and do your thing, people love you?
No, we're kind of a place now, so that show you mentioned, we're actually opening up for the 80s band Slaughter, if you remember those guys.
Up all night,
yeah,
sleep
man, that's
all
it.
day. Yeah, that's pretty damn cool, dude.
Yeah, it's super cool. So yeah, we're at a place now, man, where it's gotten around enough locally to where people will request us to play our original songs, and it's funny too because as Preston was talking about certain shows, you kind of try to mix it up. You'll have some people that will be like, man, you need to play your originals more instead of playing cover songs.
Right.
But, it's like, Preston said, the venue books you based on, you entertaining the crowd. So, but yeah, man, we get a little bit of both. So, some of the more non-touristy places down here will book us to play just our original music. And then some more of the, the touristy, restaurants, bars, and things like that will kind of want a mixture of things.
And from what I can tell, just what I try to follow, as much as I can with everybody. And from what I can tell, I mean, you guys aren't really hurting for gigs right now.
No,
man, we're not. I mean, it's a good position for a band to be in. Like all three of us are dads, so we try to. It's like that work-life balance. So we try not to play overkill so we can spend time with our families, but then again we try to play enough to where we can stay relevant and get out there and kind of scratch that itch of going out and playing music. So right now sometimes we have to turn down gigs because we don't want to fill up every single weekend, so it's a good spot to be in.
We tell people kind of the same thing. We kind of have the best of both worlds. We get to go pretend we're somebody for 4 hours, and then we get to come home to reality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And kiss our kids and our wives, and it's a lot of fun. It's a perfect balance. It really is.
I totally understand. Every show I do, I am somebody else. We figured out who that is after the show, but. I want to go back just a little bit here, and I do truly ask this of every band, and this was alluded to at the start here, and I'm not going to forget about it, but Kickstand Jenny, I got to know about the name. I mean, is this like a Caitlyn Jenner thing? Does Jenny have a kickstand? What's going on here?
Oh, you just asked the $1 million question, Rick. Ouch.
That's it.
God, we may have to just send you an email.
Do you want the honest to goodness answer, or do you want we can make something up on the fly?
I want the honest to goodness answer with a slight radio edit.
Well, Jenny might be listening.
Oh.
That's the only thing that worries us.
Well, because it is national.
It's nothing like that. We just make fun. It's nothing like that.
It's funny, Rick, because you would think there was a huge story behind it. But actually, the way it came about is, we were the Bottoms Up band, and we decided that sounded a little bit too, party-ish, So we were trying to think of a cool name, and Preston and I have always liked the name Kickstand. And, but then again, I started thinking, I was like, well, I don't want to be just like, say, a motorcycle band or something like that. So, I was kind of coming up with ideas of like, and looking at bands and something to kind of soften it up. So you take like Maroon 5 or,
Matchbox 20.
Matchbox 20. You've got certain bands, they'll add, a second, either like a color or something, or a name to the last of their name, and it kind of softens up a little bit. So there's a young lady that comes to a lot of our shows. Her name was Jenny, and she likes to bring her friends, and they dance and have a good time. And super gal, our friends are super cool. So we were talking on via text one day, and we were talking like about names. So Kickstand, we were like, okay, I like Kickstand. Someone said, I don't like Kickstand. And then I think it was Chris, our bass player, randomly said something like, Jenny and her friends were there. And the name Kickstand and Jenny just kind of flashed. And we were like, there it is, man. So I wish we had a really cool story to tell, but that's really the way that it all came about.
But if you email me later, I'll give you the really cool part.
We'll give you the
Oh, my goodness. No, Jose, put the cocoa butter down. All right, they're gonna send it later. All right, all right. So basically, like, she is your version, basically of 8675309. Basically, she's just
exactly
pretty much, man.
Pretty much just something freaking random that now she has to live with for the rest of her damn life.
Exactly.
She doesn't mind.
Yeah,
that is so awesome.
She's
very
cool
supportive.
With it.
Yeah,
right.
Very supportive.
Well, if she's listening, I hope she continues to listen. As it sounds like I got the made-up version. So
I didn't sell it that well, did I, Rick?
We didn't sell that.
I will say congratulations to you, Jenny. But no, you guys still got some time? Are you on time constraints, or we got a little bit?
No, we're good, man.
We're here for you, man.
All right, I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna take ourselves a little break, have a breather here. You guys are gonna enjoy yourselves some Kickstand Jenny here with Burning Alive. We'll be right back.
You say you need me, say you cannot be without me, forever willing. Without me, you feel empty. Yeah, I feel so alive when I'm with you. Yeah, I feel so alive. You said it's over. Said, baby, come back over. Forever tempting. You said that I need closure. Yeah, I feel so alive when I'm with you. Yeah, I feel so alive. So alive. No, every time you go. Every time you go, feels like I'm burning alive. 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 You said it's over, but I can't live without her. You said it's over. You're such a love destructor.